were the friends in the room when she stabbed him?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, so we really don't know.
You're right. Her friends weren't in the room, so her friends don't know whether we don't know whether or not he put hands on her. Here's what we do know. He is dead, and she killed him. Let us go to Octavius in Virginia. Octavius in Virginia, you've got a couple of questions, and you go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, I was just why you always not just you specifically, but like if I go to Twitter or the media in today's time, and I'm seeing like a lot of not a lot, but people basically saying like why we're not protesting for this, why our
Right.
black sisters not protesting for this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, but I always wonder that because like should it be like some cases, a lot of cases, and always the cases, you know, black men protesting
Mm-hmm.
or to come together to protest against injustice for something or something that has been done wrong to our people in
Yeah,
some way. It takes a man to lead a community,
I agree.
and the things that and the hurtful this little thing he said against black women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, black women are born to just their butt. That's highly disrespectful. You know, and just stuff like that. Like suppose. And people are getting mad and saying, why you're not protesting for that? Why black women not trying to come up here and get the picket signs to protest for that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, imagine this, right? Suppose a man is killed unjustly by higher authorities
Mm-hmm.
or just an individual, right? And the media begins uproar with outrage due to his death.
Right.
And then later discovered, he was a pedophile or a rapist. And I'm not trying to equivalate, comments the same as that.
Yeah, I understand.
But let's just say that they hear he killed somebody or he was killed or murdered unjustly by authorities or something, because in Black Lives Matter, we're going to 100% go behind that, just because a police killed, a man, and including the LGBT community or whatever, and so on. And suppose later, discover and find he was a pedophile or rapist, and or in a situation in the past, he had hurtful, disrespectful comments against the LGBT community, or he had racist comments against certain races. Why would I want to come and instantly just want to help you out then?
No.
I don't want to be a part of that. The justice system do their job.
No. Listen.
Go
I understand. I understand completely what you're saying. First off, I would disagree that he made racist comments about black women.
I mean,
go ahead.
Okay, but understand it like this, right? As like But that's still somewhat kind of disrespectful because you're basically saying that's what black women only do.
Listen,
that's what they can only do.
Listen. Listen.
If a white person said it,
hold on.
My fault for cutting you off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You said if a white person were to say it, but a white person didn't say it. It was a black person. Now, I guess to what degree? Now, something being racist and something being disrespectful, I think sometimes those two things can be one and the same. But I'm looking at his tweets here, and let's see. And I'm not going to sit here and say that if you're a black woman, you should just not care about what he said. But cheering the death or telling or giving us the impression that this guy, some black women are saying, well, he deserved to die because he made these racist comments. Well, just because he made disparaging comments about you doesn't mean anyone deserves to die. Because black women, they tell us niggas ain't shit all the goddamn time. If a black woman were to get killed by a white man, I'm not going to come on here and say, well, she was fucking with white boys and that's why she's gone now. This is where I think women are crossing the line. A man is dead by the hand of another person, but because of his dating preferences and his and listen, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes the way men vocalize their dating preferences can rub people the wrong way. Hey, guess what? The world is a very cruel place. People are going to say things that are not nice to you. But then to come back and say, well, hey, it's because you said X, Y, and Z. This is the reason why we're not going to get involved with this. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh no, I totally disagree with that. Listen, me personally, okay. If you date outside your race, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, imagine why do you have to disgrace the opposite gender? Imagine your mother, your sister. You basically categorizing all the other women in your bloodline, basically. Because every time, mostly black people, and this is the honest truth. This is the honest truth. We degrade our race in America. I'm not saying anybody else. A
Sure.
lot more than any I ever seen. In some cases. Okay,
Absolutely.
imagine this. Name an Asian or a white man, or in some cases a Hispanic man, or any other race of men except for black that date outside their race, but they disgrace their race. In some cases, you have that here and there.
No. Well, hold on,
real
quick, Octavius. What define disgrace?
Like say, okay. Oh no, my fault. Let me rephrase that back one more time.
Okay.
Their race of women, and their Asian man saying something disrespectful to an Asian woman, a white man saying disrespectful to a white woman, or a white woman saying disrespectful to a white man, or an Asian woman saying disrespectful to an Asian man or Hispanic.
Okay, this is a very good.
Here and there.
No, I got you. This is a very good question. Let me ask you something, Octavius. Have you traveled? And I'm not trying to be facetious, but I'm trying to give you a little bit of perspective here. How often have you traveled? What countries have you been to?
That's why I basically said America, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I only live in America. I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay. All right. Oh, shout out to Virginia. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna say two more things, and I'm probably out of here.
No. Hold on. No. You can take your time. We've got some time. The reason I asked you is because people who don't travel outside of the country or really outside of their region, people, and it's not just you, it's a lot of people. They assume that their race is the only race that disparages their race. If you go to Hawaii, Polynesians talk shit about each other all the time. Familiarity breeds contempt. I dated a Ukrainian girl in Vegas. She hated Ukrainian guys and Russian guys. They're basically the same type people. Mexicans talk shit about Mexicans all the time. And so I think we have to be very careful about saying that we as black people, we are the only race in the world that disparages our race. Well, it appears that black people, black women in particular, and the black men that support them, they're the ones that seem to have the biggest problem with it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that if a guy like me comes on and says, hey, listen, I don't date black women because of XYZ, I don't expect them to like that. I don't expect them to say, hey, you know what, that guy's giving his opinion. But by the same token, just because I'm vocalizing my preferences and the reason why I don't date black women, that doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't mean I'm betraying my bloodline. And just to go back to that as well, I love my mother and I love my sisters. I'm not trying to date my mother or my sisters. Those are, as a man, I can compartmentalize the women I'm trying to date versus the women I am familially tied to, via blood. And listen, my mother and my sisters, they're aware of my content. And you want to know something, Octavius? They don't agree with a lot I say because I'm talking directly about them. That doesn't mean that what I'm saying about them is untrue. People say all the time, well, your mom is black, your sisters are black. That is absolutely true. But as a man, my familial ties does not prohibit me from telling the truth about black women in particular, especially because I've experienced them. What do you say about that?
Okay, that's great. I'm just trying to compare it to what he said in his comments. He basically said something as, when girls are born, they know how to shake their what?
They know how to shake that. Well, hold on, Octavius. Hold on, Octavius. Octavius. Now, that's not a bad thing. When black girls are born, they do know how to shake their ass. When Venezuelan girls are born, they know how to move. Like this. Listen, I'm not being facetious, but that's the culture. If he has a problem with black girls knowing how to shake their ass, fine. That doesn't rise to disrespect because black girls do know how to shake that ass.
Okay, but also with this part, I do not agree with people coming out and saying, just because she want to be a divester or just because he want a white woman, he got what he deserved for her death. No, I don't, hands down, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
And plus, I also want to get into the topic of him being with like the other caller from earlier. He's African.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a first generation African myself.
Oh, okay.
My family came out from South Sudan.
Okay.
South Sudan, and soon I was born in America, but soon like my parents landed their feet in American borders.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases here and there, there were some stereotypes, there were jokes. We didn't really understand. we thought we was the same as them, and I guess African Americans felt the same way.
Yeah.
If you throw insults to Africans, you're gonna get some insults gonna get thrown back, which I don't agree with. We should all come together,
I
stuff
agree.
like that. But hey, that's sad. But when I want to get into this, the one thing, man, I've seen with Nigerians, man, I don't hate Nigerians, but this is my honest what I see. Man, Nigerians, man, this just shows how Nigerians are the out of African black people are the biggest sellouts I ever seen in this area of Africa.
Really?
I mean, Jesus, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I had to say it. I had to say
Holy
it.
smokes, I didn't realize
Everybody
that.
in the chat who's African, you know what I'm talking about. And shout out to all my Africans. I love all my African people.
Hey, there you go, man.
When we come to America, we succeed. We do great things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to brag about it. I'm humble about who I am. I love all my African American people because soon I came, because my mother, she opened her arms to African American men. I live in Richmond, Virginia, Chamberlain Road, downtown, the worst of the worst. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
out
with
of
you.
all spectrum of Virginia. He opened it with open arms, let him in. There's no really hatred that much. That's just a stereotype in some cases. In some cases, does it happen? Yes, but that's just kind of false narrative. You know, with the Tariq Nasheed and all that, you know, I don't get with that. But
Okay.
Nigerians, man, my Lord have mercy. They quick to, like,
Okay. All right.
you get a guy that's like a 60-year-old deranged, crippled woman just to get a green card. Like, really, man? And that's a fact. That's the truth. Trust me, believe me. I tell Nigerians this all the time. They understand what I'm saying.
Listen, Octavius, you articulated your points. You articulated your points very well. You and I don't see eye to eye on all these things, but I think that was a good discussion. Is there anything else you'd like to comment or ask before I let you go?
Oh yeah, one more thing too.
Okay.
Okay, I understand that. She's thank you for having me for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know I was going to talk this.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
Imagine if okay, I understand she's an OnlyFans model.
Mm-hmm.
She's people are trying to depict her as a crazy lunatic, but you do got to understand this too. Imagine, I'm playing devil's advocate. Imagine if he probably did hit her. I'm never going to excuse a man abusing a woman. You know, let's just say closed doors, and her friends or his friends not in the room. He probably hits her.
Are you saying he
knows?
probably? Are you saying he probably? Wait, are you saying he probably? Or you're just giving an example? Because according to all of their friends, well, according to all of their friends, listen, if we're going to do hypotheticals, we have to go with what are likely hypotheticals. Both of their friends said that she put hands on him all the time. They never saw or heard it. Now, the thing is this: if somebody's putting hands on you, you do have the right to defend yourself. But as you could see in that police video, she did not appear to have any defensive wounds or markings. I mean, she hasn't said any. She said, "Well, he's abusive and this and that and the third." This was after she threatened to throw herself off of the building. So, according to her friends and her family and their relatives and their friends, there's no. I mean, there was no isuba on his end, and even if there were, let's just say he was putting hands on her. As a woman, you have to do what you have to do to defend yourself. But there's nothing that indicates that that's what happened. She's taking this whole, I defended myself, we were in an abusive relationship, et cetera, but she was the one doing most of the abusing.
Oh, yeah, that happens. I remember, I know situations where a woman would just beat on a man.
Sure.
And the boyfriend would just grab her hand so she can stop hitting him.
Well, this is exactly what Toby probably did. And this girl who's been allowed to abscond from the state of Texas from facing DUI charges in Austin, she got into a car accident. She was sued for all kinds of stuff. They ended up settling out of court because her parents paid them off. Listen, like I said, if she were defending herself and it's proved that she was defending herself, then I mean, listen, do what you got to do. I mean, you're a man and she's a woman and you don't have a chance. But all indications are that she was the abuser and not him. And unfortunately for him, she allegedly ended his life. I'll give you the last word, Octavius.
Yeah. Were the friends in the room when she stabbed him?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, so we really don't know because hey man, you don't ever judge a book by its cover.
You're absolutely, Octavius. Listen. You're right. No, hold on. You're absolutely no. Hold on. Just let me stop you before you go on. You're right. Her friends weren't in the room, so her friends don't know we don't know whether or not he put hands on her. Here's what we do know: he is dead, and she killed him. So we don't have any physical evidence of him doing anything to her. We have all the physical evidence we need in terms of her assaulting him. So we have to be very careful about retroactively justifying someone's crime. Because I'll tell you what, when a man kills a woman, nobody is calling into my show. Nobody's saying, well, if it was self-defense, no. If a man ends a woman's life, nobody is asking why he did it. They just assume he's a bad person. No matter what she did, he should not have done it. Yet here we have people saying, well, if he put hands on her and this and that, we're speculating on things that have never, ever, ever been proven. They've never been proven. Is it possible he put hands on her? Absolutely. But based on what we know, it is not likely. Thank you for the call, Octavius. I have to move on.